There's a form of discipline that doesn't crack. Not when you're tired, not when life collapses, not even when every part of you wants to quit. Today, you'll uncover the ancient system that forged unbreakable warriors. Ever wondered how the Shinobi survived alone in the mountains for months, trained in total secrecy, and maintained absolute discipline without apps, reminders, or hype? Their strength wasn't willpower. It was Ninpo, the path of the invisible warrior. Once you understand its 5 core principles, you'll realize the discipline you've been trying to build was never built to last. The Shinobi understood something about the human mind long before modern science did. Our brains weren't made for discipline. They were made for survival. And that's exactly why their system works when everything else collapses. But this path demands a price. It doesn't accept half-hearted effort. It requires the sacrifice of the weaker version of you, the one who betrays his own word. Before we dive deeper into this system, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next. Now let's get back to the video. Chapter 1. The Failed Boy. Feudal Japan, Iga Prefecture, 1540. Tishi was 14, but the entire village knew him by one name, Tishi the Lazy. He dreamed of becoming a shinobi ever since he saw dark silhouettes glide across the rooftops at night. But dreams were all he had. Every day he made grand promises to himself. Today I start. 3 push-ups and he quit. 2 minutes of meditation and he quit. 5 strikes with the wooden sword and he quit. By afternoon, tomorrow always sounded like a better plan. His father, a hardened blacksmith, dismissed his dreams. Shinobi are stories. You'll learn my trade and stop this nonsense. But the truth? His father knew the shinobi were real. He even knew the hidden school in the mountains. He simply didn't trust his son to endure the path required to reach it. Still, Tishi couldn't let the dream die. Every night he stared at those mountains. Every morning he whispered, "What if I actually try?" Every afternoon, he failed again. Until one day, everything changed. Returning from the forest after another half-hearted training session, he found a man blocking the path. Plain clothes, ordinary build, but his eyes cut straight through Tishi. "You want to be a shinobi, not a question, a truth. How many times did you promise today would be different?" Tishi had no answer. "Come with me. If you can keep up, I'll show you the school. If not, go home and become a blacksmith." The man turned and walked toward the mountains. 3 hours of brutal climbing. Tishi had never stuck to anything for 3 hours in his entire life. The first 20 minutes were easy. At 40, his legs burned. At an hour, his mind started screaming the familiar lies. "You're not built for this. Come back tomorrow." But the man didn't slow down, didn't speak, didn't look back. 2 hours in, Tishi was crawling, tears dripping into the dirt. His whole body begged him to quit, and then it hit him. The pain didn't matter, the excuses didn't matter, only the decision mattered. A warrior keeps his word. With shaking legs, he stood. After 3 hours and 15 minutes, he reached the mountaintop, collapsed, and passed out. When he woke, he was inside a quiet wooden temple, incense burning, silence heavy. The man sat before him. "You completed the first lesson of Ninpo without realizing it. Welcome to the Koga School." Chapter 2. The Death of the Weak Self. Tishi woke before dawn, his skull rattling from the strike of a massive bronze bell. No soft alarm, no warm morning light, just shock. Around him, 15 students already stood at attention, dressed in identical dark uniforms. At the center of the hall stood the same mountain man who brought him here. "In Ninpo, there are no attempts," the master said. "There are only 2 states. You are or you are not. From today onward, you are students. Students wake when the bell rings, no negotiation." Tishi glanced outside. It was still night. But sensei, what to... The master's glare silenced him instantly. Questions create thoughts. Thoughts create hesitation. Hesitation creates death. The bell rings. You wake. That is all. The first week was pure punishment. 1 hour of silent meditation at dawn. 2 hours of brutal physical conditioning. 2 hours of strategy and discipline. Stealth training until the sun vanished. Sleep, wake, repeat. Every day Tishi wanted to quit, but here quitting wasn't an option. On day 1, every student had stood before the entire school and sworn an oath. I am a student of the ninja way. My word is my life. If I break my word, I am nothing. The whole community witnessed it. 15 students heard it. The master wrote it into the record. Tishi hadn't promised to try. He had declared an identity. And the human brain is wired for tribe. Break your oath, lose trust, lose your place. Your mind interprets that as death. The shinobi understood this long before science ever did. By day 3, Tishi's body was failing. His mind whispered its old excuses. You're injured. Take a day. It won't matter. But every other student was already standing. No arguments, no complaints. If he stayed down, everyone would see his failure. The shame of breaking his oath was more painful than the exhaustion. So he stood. On the 5th night, during dinner, one student whispered, "Man, we can't keep this up. This pace will kill us." The master heard him. He stood, pointed and said, "Collect your things. You're expelled." The boy froze. "But I didn't." "You sowed doubt. Doubt is poison. In Ninpo, thoughts are actions. You acted against your oath. Leave." The boy disappeared into the night. No one complained again. Because now they understood. The oath wasn't decoration. It was the skeleton holding everything together. But Tishi soon realized that even the oath could only push him so far. The real battle was still inside him. That's when the master introduced the second pillar of Ninpo, the principle of unchanging rhythm. Chapter 3. The rhythm that never breaks. Every morning, we fight the same silent battle. Should I work out now or later? Wake up at 5 or 6. Do it today or tomorrow when I feel better. We call it flexibility, but it's actually death by 1,000 tiny decisions, each one draining your strength before you even begin. After 2 weeks, the master summoned Tishi. "You're still hesitating," he said. "I see it in your eyes every morning." Tishi was confused. "But sensei, I wake up every day. I haven't failed." Standing up is not the victory. Deciding to stand up is the weakness. As long as you're choosing, you're losing. We must kill the decision. The master explained. In true Ninpo, time is constant. That is why the bell rings at the same moment every morning. When time is fixed, negotiation dies. Your body, simple as it is, learns patterns. Wake up at different hours and it fights you. Wake up at the same time every day, and soon your body prepares itself before the bell. Tishi didn't believe it until it happened. By the 19th day, he woke before the bell. By the 25th, 2 minutes earlier. By the 30th, he was standing in total clarity, awake with no sound at all. Not because he was gifted, but because the rhythm was unbreakable. But then came a new enemy, choice. During training, Tishi drifted, some days working on strength, other days speed, sometimes climbing rocks, sometimes sword drills. Since he could no longer negotiate when to train, his mind shifted to negotiating how to train. The master noticed instantly, "You're creating chaos where there should be form. In Ninpo we use kata, perfect, repeated form." And then came the impossible order. For the next 100 days, you will perform the exact same sequence, same movements, same order, same repetitions, no variation, 0. Tishi hesitated. "But sensei, won't I get bored? Won't I stop improving?" The master's answer cut deeper than a blade. Boredom is the ego-resisting transformation. Real evolution begins when the practice becomes so automatic that your mind can finally see the invisible details. Chapter 4. The Form That Frees. Here's the truth no one tells you. Variety doesn't make you disciplined. Variety destroys discipline. Every time you change your workout or switch your routine, your brain must decide: squats or running, sword practice or climbing, 5 minutes or 10. Each tiny decision is a crack where old habits sneak back in. Tishi entered his 100-day Shuyo period, the same sequence every day without fail. 50 push-ups, 100 squats, 30 minutes of kata, 20 minutes of breath work. Same order, same place, same time. The first week his mind begged for novelty. This is pointless. You're human. Mix it up. By week 2, even other students chimed in. Bro, you're becoming a robot. Where's the creativity? The master only laughed. Creativity without foundation is chaos. Master the form, then you will have something worth expressing. Week 3 was psychological warfare. Every day, Tishi fought the voice tempting him to change just one thing. But he remembered the oath. He remembered the boy who'd been expelled. So he continued. By week 4, something strange happened. His mental stamina, the part that resisted routine, began to collapse. Not because he got stronger, but because his brain realized it had no room to negotiate. The answer to variation was always the same: no. Eventually the brain stopped protesting. Week 6, the breakthrough. Mid-push-up, Tishi realized he wasn't thinking. His body moved on its own, like water flowing through a familiar channel. It wasn't boredom, it was freedom. Freedom from constant decisions. In week 8, during sword practice, he noticed a microscopic detail in his wrist. Something he'd never seen when his mind was cluttered with choices. The master nodded. Now you understand. When form becomes automatic, consciousness can finally see. Science would later confirm this. After about 66 days of exact repetition, the basal ganglia take over. The prefrontal cortex is freed. The habit becomes effortless, like breathing. Day 45, fever. His body was weak, his head pounding. The temptation was obvious. Skip today, rest, come back tomorrow. This was the trap that had destroyed him his whole life. If I can't do it perfectly, I'll wait until I can. He went to the master. Sensei, I'm sick. Should I rest today? The master stared at him. Rest is not giving up, but you're not asking to rest. You're asking for permission to create a gap. What's the difference? A river never stops. In drought it slows. In storms it surges. But it never breaks. The moment it stops, it is no longer a river. Then came the third pillar of Ninpo, Muku, practice without gaps. Feeling weak, do less, but do something. Momentum is more valuable than perfection. Tishi did half his routine. It was messy, it was painful, it was enough, because he kept the rhythm alive. The next day, when the fever faded, his body returned to full training with no resistance. The pattern remained intact. Day 70, violent storm. The training hall flooded. Sensei, where do we train today? The master pointed to the patio. There. But it's raining. So what? Do enemies only attack on sunny days? So Tishi trained outside, soaked, shivering, covered in mud, but unbroken. Because warriors don't wait for perfect conditions. They follow the form, and the form sets them free. Chapter 5, The Invisible Preparation. Tishi was about to learn the hardest truth of all. Even with an oath, a fixed rhythm, and flawless form, the obstacle that destroys you is always the one you never saw coming. Day 80. His father arrived at the school. Urgent family matter. Tishi had to return home immediately. Tishi froze. Not because of the emergency, but because he was 20 days away from completing his 100-day training. The master stopped him. Do you think obstacles ask for permission? Do you think life cares about your schedule? But sensei, I promised to finish. You promised to continue, without gaps. You never promised it would be easy. And that day, the master taught the fourth pillar of Ninpo, Zeni, invisible preparation. A true shinobi is never surprised, he said. He has already decided his response before the obstacle appears. The master made Tishi list every possible disruption: travel, sickness, injury, storms, visitors, emergencies. Then for each one, he wrote a pre-decided action: traveling, pre-dawn road workout sick, half reps, arm injury, trained legs, rain, covered patio family emergency, essential 15-minute routine. Tishi returned home. For 3 days he helped his family non-stop, but every morning at 4 a.m. he trained 20 push-ups, 10 minutes of meditation, basic sword kata. Neighbors thought he'd lost his mind. They didn't understand. Training didn't take strength away from his family. It gave him strength for his family. On day 83 he returned. How many days did you miss? The master asked. None, sensei. For the first time the master smiled. Now you understand. Modern psychology would later prove this. When you pre-decide your reactions, you eliminate decision fatigue. Your brain executes instead of debating, boosting success by up to 300%. Day 95. 5 days left. Tishi had changed. He didn't talk about training. He didn't plan to wake up. He simply did. The routine moved through him without force. Other students whispered, "How does he never fail?" An older one replied, "He doesn't try. He is." Day 100. Tishi completed the sequence for the 100th time. No breaks, no excuses, no negotiation. The bell rang. He expected joy, but all he felt was a deep, strange quiet. The master approached. "How do you feel?" "Empty, sensei, but in a good way, like something heavy is gone." The master nodded. "What left you was the version of yourself that needed to decide. You've reached the fifth pillar, Mushin, the mind without effort." Chapter 6. The mind that never hesitates. Mushin means no mind, not emptiness, but freedom. No ego, no hesitation, no inner battle between what you should do and what you feel like doing. A true warrior doesn't pause to decide. When a blade comes at you, a single thought is death. Action must flow instantly, without negotiation. That's what Tishi built during those 100 days. He didn't just form a habit, he killed the version of himself that argued, delayed, and bargained. The training became automatic, like a heartbeat. When the master asked, "Will you continue now that the challenge is over?" Tishi didn't hesitate. "Yes, not because I train, because this is who I am now." 3 months later, Tishi wasn't just a student. He had become a shinobi, not through a certificate, but through identity. His discipline unsettled others. He never boasted, never complained, never negotiated. He simply executed. A new student asked, "How do you never fail?" Tishi answered, "Failure doesn't exist for me anymore. Not because I'm strong, because I removed the option." The student didn't understand. How do you remove an option? You let the old version of you die, the one who hesitated. What remains is the warrior who keeps his word. Tishi's transformation went beyond training. It changed his entire presence. People didn't say he was impressive. They whispered, "This isn't normal." And that's exactly what true mastery looks like. Chapter 7. The warrior who makes others uncomfortable. 6 months after completing Shugyo, Tishi faced his first real mission. 7 brutal days infiltrating an enemy fortress. No sleep, barely any food, everything going wrong. Yet he returned with the documents. When asked how he survived, he said only, "I did what needed to be done." But the truth was deeper. The voice that says, "I can't," had died long ago. What remained was action, pure, silent, unhesitating. Later, the master warned him, "People will say you're obsessive. They'll call you extreme. Do you know why?" "No, sensei. Because your discipline exposes their excuses." And he was right. As Tishi's reputation grew, so did the reactions. Some admired him, many feared him, most felt uncomfortable. He's not normal. No one needs that much discipline. That can't be healthy. But Tishi learned a powerful truth. When your discipline scares people, it means you've reached a level they can't imagine. Normal effort creates normal results. Warriors live beyond that, where "I can't" doesn't exist. One morning at 4 a.m., new students saw Tishi training alone. "Man, that's scary. He never stops." Tishi smiled, remembering the boy he once was, the boy who couldn't do 3 push-ups. That boy was gone. In his place stood a warrior, because discipline doesn't make you a better person. It makes you a different person. A person others look at and whisper, "That's not human." That's when you know you've finally killed the weak version of yourself. And this transformation wasn't magic. It came from 5 pillars, Ketsui, the public oath. Not "I'll try," but "I am." A declaration that changes identity. Rei, the unchanging rhythm, a fixed schedule that erases negotiation. Kata, perfect form, same action, same reps. 100 days straight, no creativity, pure repetition. Muku, no gaps. Emergency? Do a reduced version. Sick, half practice, but never zero. Zero kills momentum. Zini, prior preparation. Pre-decide every obstacle so you execute without thinking. These 5 pillars didn't just make Tishi stronger, they killed the version of him that hesitated, doubted, and delayed. Now the question is for you. Do you want this transformation? Because this path isn't comfortable. It isn't for people who want to improve a little. It's for those willing to sacrifice the weaker self. So a warrior can be born. A warrior doesn't rely on motivation, because warriors don't negotiate with themselves. People will say, "You're extreme." Good. That means you're finally on the right path. So choose your habit, make your public pledge, lock in your schedule, define your form, commit to 100 days without gaps, pre-solve every obstacle. Then watch what happens when you stop negotiating. Tishi wasn't special. He was just someone who decided to give up the weaker version of himself. You can do the same.